Rambam, we continue. We're still beginning of the new cycle. We're at the beginning of the new cycle of Rambam. And we go now through the listing of mitzvahs. So, listing of mitzvahs, part one. I saw fit, Rambam writes, to divide this text into 14 books. The first book I will include within all the mitzvahs that are the foundation of faith taught by Moses, our teacher of blessed memory, those which a person must know before everything, which is like example, unity of God, blessed be he, and the prohibition against worshiping false gods. I've called the book of knowledge. The second book I will include within all the mitzvahs that are constant, which we are commanded to us so that we will love God and constantly remember him. Recitation of the Shema, prayer, tefillin, priestly blessing, circumcision is included in the category because of the sign of the flesh is to recall God constantly during the times that we are not wearing tefillin, tzitzis, and the like. I call this book the Book of Love, Sefer Ava. The third book I will include within it all the mitzvahs that are associated with specific times, example, Shabbos and festivals, called the Book of Seasons, Sefer Zmanim. Fourth book, I will include within the mitzvahs that are involved intimate relations, marriage, divorce, yivum, and chalitza. Right, this is the book called Sefer Nashim, the Book of Women. The fifth book I will include within it all of the mitzvahs that involve forbidden intimate relations and those that involve forbidden foods. I have grouped the two forbidden intimate relations, forbidden foods together because it is of these matters that God has sanctified us and separated us from all the nations. Right. Now, there's all the nations can eat whatever they want, and even relations, they don't have the strict like, for example, we were just learning in Tanya, right? As that guy who's working outside and his eyes, he's gazing, looking where he shouldn't go. So nothing forbidden in Western culture about that. You can even, whatever, approach a person. In Jewish law, oh boy, just gazing at someone, at a woman, a man who's gazing at a woman, it's evil. It's called evil. Not in the world, it's not called evil. Called your prerogative. That's why by other nations there isn't a God. There's only a God only vis-a-vis punishment or reward, but not God vis-a-vis a relationship. And God says, you want a relationship with me? Well, don't gaze where you shouldn't gaze, right? We live in a world today that, you walk on the street and whatever. But those who are committed Jews, they're aware of that and they, are careful as a result. So the two things come together because this is unique about the of the Jewish people. Torah mentions the concept of holiness with regard to both these matters, stating, I am the Lord your God who separated you from among the nations, and I have set you apart from among nations. Accordingly, I have called it the book of Kedusha, holiness. The sixth book I will include within all the mitzvahs that one is obligated to keep when he forbids himself certain things by the statement of vows and oaths. So this is called Sefer Aflo, which is the book of utterances. Seventh book, I will include within it all the mitzvahs that deal with the produce of the earth. Examples, sabbatical year, Jubilee, 50th year, the tithes, right? The 10% that goes to the Levites. The Truma is 2% that goes to the Kohen, and other mitzvahs are relevant in this book. And I've called this book the Sefer Zroim, the book of agriculture. Actually, Zroim literally means seeds, right? I mean, context is agriculture. Zera is seed, right? The 8th book I will include in the mitzvahs that involve the construction of the temple and the communal offerings that I brought regularly. I've called this book Sefer Avodah, the book of service. The 9th book I will include in the mitzvahs that involve sacrifices brought by individuals, right? Not the regular communal, but of individuals. I've called this book Sefer Karbonis, book of sacrifices. The 10th book I'm included in the mitzvahs involve ritual purity and impurity. I've called this book Sefer Tahara, the book of purity. The 11th book included within it all the mitzvahs that govern relations between an individual and his calling and involve damage and property and personal injury. Called this book Sefer Nezikim, book of damages. The 12th book I will include with all the mitzvahs that govern sales and acquisitions of property. Called this book Sefer Kinyan, the book of acquisition of property. The 13th book I will include within it all the mitzvahs that govern relations between an individual and his calling that do not involve damage in the outside laws of watchmen, debtors, claims lodged against one another and their denial. I've called this book Sefer Mishpatim, the book of judgments. And the 14th book included within it is the last book, right? The mitzvahs are delegated to the Sanhedrin, example, capital punishment, when convicted by the court, the acceptance of testimony, the laws pertaining to the book of wars, he wages, and I called this book Sefer Shoftim, the book of judges, right? Sanhedrin is the ultimate judges. Kings, kind of fall into that area of judgment. These are the governing principles of the division of the halachas of the text according to the subjects treated in the different books, and division of the mitzvahs according to the subjects treated in halachas. Okay. I'm just going to do the first book. The book of knowledge, the first Sefer Mada, right, contains 5 halachas. They are in order. The laws of the foundation of the Torah, the laws of personal development, the laws of Torah study, the laws governing prohibition against worship of stars and spiritual forces, and the statutes of the idolaters, and the laws of tshuva. The laws foundation of the Torah, they contain 10 mitzvahs, 6 positive, 4 negative, and they are to know that there is a God, not to consider thought of any other divinity aside from God, to unify Him, to love Him, to fear Him, to sanctify His name, not to profane God's name, not to destroy those things associated with His name, to listen to a prophet who speaks in God's name, not to test God. Okay, we're going to stop over here. All right, folks. Thank you. Have a great day.